Welcome, Bout Betters. Just caught the weigh-ins. My bookie has released the prop bets, and there is a lot to unpack. Two more fights scrapped with Philip Rowe also missing weight. There's always some things to be learned at these weigh-ins, and I certainly flipped on two picks and retained steadfast on a couple others. So like and subscribe. Not going to do the fancy graphic keynote slide here today. Going to try to just bust this out as quickly as I can. This card was weak from the start. A CanFest, a Borapalooza. My boy Joey ain't feeling it. He says that even the favorites suck. High-level MMA, this card is not, but it does produce some wacky odds and some crazy prop bet opportunities. I would not make an array of crazy plays on this card, but not finding those particular spots where you make money on this card is what's going to hurt you. I always say that I'm going to play it tight, but I have some Olympic water polo tickets to cash, and there is a good 3-pick on tap for this weekend. So let me do this, just no complete breakdowns and plays. Let me just try to run through this. The first fight I'm looking at, or the first fight we have, Orion Cosy versus Philip Rowe. Been on Cosy all week, but he didn't look great. Rowe has value, but Vegas sees a finish, and Cosy doing the finishing. I like this not to go the distance prop at minus 162 if you can cover that chalk. I also like the alternate winning group of rounds at 1 and 2 prop at minus 106. If you're on the Cosy side, search the round props, and if you're on the Rowe side, the money line and hint by finish is good. Ginyu Frey and Ashley Yoder, my goodness, my buddy MMA Genie told me to pass. So Yoder is still not in my parlays, but I like Yoder's size advantage as well as she looked good at the weigh-ins. Yoder at 139 is fine, chalk to cover. Chase, I'm not certain if I chase her on the finish, but I might leave Yoder out of my parlays, but grab her just on the money line. But we'll see, and possibly chase that finish. Danny Chavez, Kai Kamaka. I can't tell you how many times I picked Kai Kamaka by finish and have been burnt. I've also been burnt by him, just straight money line. I think Kai Kamaka just can't finish Chavez, so I'm leaning with Danny Chavez and the not go to distance prop at 148. I know that's tough. Chavez is not really a finisher. Kai Kamaka is tough to finish as a Hawaiian. But again, those are what I'm going to lean towards. Again, all these picks are just me speculating. Talk to me about what I'll play. I'll look at my phone frequently while I'm at the casino and can actually look at some things. I'll tell you in a little bit what I might play as well here, but of course, because I'm going to play something and everything. I always say I'm going to play this type, but I'm always going to play something. Chris Germacher versus Rafa Garcia. Vegas expects this as a violence match. Looking at them in the weigh-ins, I don't really expect that, but I saw something. Really, Chris Germacher just didn't really look all there to me, but that's his look. He's just sort of like a silent assassin type or a caveman assassin. So they expect something brutal here in Carnage. So again, I like the alternating group of rounds at 115. I believe that was rounds 1 and 2 at 1 plus 115, and this not to go the distance at minus 115. I'll probably jump on that Rafa Camion and just sprinkle Rafa by TKO at plus 400. Play the not to go distance prop at minus 115. Again, great round odds for Gertzmacher. If you're on chasing a high paid dog, he is one of the biggest dogs on this card. Milsik Bogda Sarian versus Colin Anglin. I have this fight noted as a dog or pass. The best possible bet is the under 2.5 at plus 122 or minus 106 not to go the distance. But all this is dependent on Bogda Sarian not gassing in 4 minutes. Otherwise, he is a plus 225 by TKO. Take Anglin live past the 3-minute mark. Anglin has a huge wrestling advantage. Brian Barberena, Jason Witt. Not a lot to be said. Don't trust either of these guys. Both look okay at the weigh-ins. I think Barberena is sort of overvalued here as he's coming off a surgery. I'm not going to be using him as a parlay leg. They're just flags here. Barberena by finish, though, is minus 110. Witt has no chin, so explore maybe one of the round props that is a value, depending on where this goes. It could be a pretty sloppy fight. It could be a bad affair. I don't understand why Brian Barberena is such a favorite just based on Jason Witt's chin. Zaruk Adashev, Ryan Benoit. Man, Benoit never looks good at the weigh-ins, and I was on Adashev from the start. I might use Adashev in a parlay. I've been on him all week. So, again, it's sort of a toss-up, even fight, statistically and otherwise. Ryan does have a little bit more experience. I'm just hoping that Adashev is just going to be better prepared tomorrow night. Stolze and Gooden, man, you got to give Gooden tons of props for coming in on 4 days. The guy's a gamer that can probably going to bring it. Stolze is in a lot of trouble, but I think he is going to cover it, even though he's not a high-level fighter. He has superior ground skills here. I'm thinking that it doesn't go the distance at plus 115 because I think there's going to be some violence possibly here. Stolze by sub at plus 700. It's possible because Gooden just doesn't have very good wrestling, but Stolze doesn't have very good stand-up, and Gooden can definitely touch him up. Trying to get this down to the floor, but I'm still on Stolze. I might use him in the parlay. We'll see.
Y ahora, lo que sigue, la pelea de noche, la reina de pelea, Gloria de Paula y Cheyenne Baez.
That was pretty bad, but that was my first take and first attempt at that. So this could be fight of the night. Like De Paula's reach advantage, if she could actually throw, goodness, she looked horrible and shameful sometimes. But give me De Paula. I think they're both mediocre fighters. Best prop to chase De Paula by finish at plus 550. It was a dog or pass situation, or if you want to be on Cheyenne, please, by all means. This is definitely going to be, it is a typical pick'em fight. Both are priced really nice by finish because both don't seem to have finishing skills, but let's see how these women play it out. I'm going to chase that. I was on the Rani Yaya side all week. It was either Kyung Ho Kang and the decision or Rani Yaya and the sub at plus 225. Then at the weigh-in, I just saw the youth advantage. Cutting weight sucks. I'm on Kang and will be betting him straight as well as him to finish. Yes, finish at plus 350. I know he's a decision machine. Even money all over the place. If you could find something, yes, to go to distance is minus 125. I think that Kang will also be my primary parlay piece. I'm not certain who yet I'm going to put him in with. I'm probably leaning towards, here we go, Joey's on the phone telling me not to do it. Hall is the Cheshire Cat Paw puncher. Eye pokes are definitely probable. Low striking from Hall. Always low striking. Pause. He cat paws. He keeps his distance. And then he finally throws a punch. He's methodical to an obvious fault. I was on the Strickland side all week. And then Joey reminded me, he told me we would never bet on Hall again after that Silva fight. Watching that fight was brutal. And we watched it probably without commentating. I don't recall if we listened to it without commentating. I hope not, because I was already thinking that it was a horrible fight. Oh, no, but you know what? I bet the commentators were saying it was a fantastic striking affair, that it was just a phenomenal fight. Probably just said everything in the book to try to sell the fight, of course, and make it better for the fans. So, what? All right, that's their job. Let me get off that again. I did say I would never bet him again, but Hall by finish is plus 300. Not to go the distance is minus 162, which isn't a horrible play if you're on either side. I think that's a fantastic play if you want to cover the chalk. I think it's very easy to do. I think we're going to see a finish here. It's going to be a slow one. Once Strickland's aggression finally angers Hall and Hall decides, hey, this guy's trying to hurt me, I think he's going to finally defend himself and come at Strickland. But it's going to take something to instigate Hall, or I think hopefully for once Hall is the aggressor instigator, because I'd like to see that. So maybe Hall at De Paula Kyung parlay. No round robins this week. Hit me up in the comments section. Let's hope for some damage here. Like and subscribe.